Yeah, we're getting close to winter, so the days they are getting shorter. Getting farther from the stupid sun. She's about to start dealing with some seasonal affective disorder. Getting irritated by everyone. It's gonna make her really testy when her family is playing recorder.
Are you kidding?
And it's no fine when it's dark in the middle of the day. She bought a UV light cause depression is a common condition. It's depressing just sitting by it. She can't drive after 5 cause at night she has terrible vision. Once you're 50 you can't see shit. Then she went online to sign the daylight savings petition. When's this gonna happen? Yeah, it's no fine when it's dark in the middle of the day. When it's dark in the middle of the day.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to bed. Okay, have fun out here, babe. You're doing great.
Yeah, we're getting close to winter, so the days they are getting shorter. Getting farther from the stupid sun. She's about to start dealing with some seasonal affective disorder. Getting irritated by everyone. It's gonna make her really testy when her family is playing recorder.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I forgot that was on constant loop. So it's just going to continue to play. Good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. I am your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I'm Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And we are back after a long, extended vacation. We are finally back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're happy to be back.
Mm-hmm. Happy belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes.
You have fun?
I had great fun. I was able to spend a lot of time with my family, a lot of time with the kids. We got through all of the shows we've been plodding through.
That's good.
I got to make ice balls out of pink lemonade with raspberry in it. You just buy
delicious.
You just buy fresh raspberries and then you just plop them in your ice mold, fill it with lemonade, and away you go. Probably can't see it from there, but yeah, it's got lumps of raspberry. But anyway, if you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show, Cash App, Venmo, or become a Patreon subscriber. We'd love to have you. You found us on YouTube, but did you also know you could find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and Substack?
I was just going to say I'll have to try that later. Dunking balls and lemonade, see if that tastes any good.
Yeah, so I bought a new ice mold.
Mm-hmm.
And oh yeah, pretty nifty. So all that lemonade goodness is all the way at the bottom.
Oh,
that's okay.
You'll have to melt her a little so you can get all the goodness out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've got 4 more in another bigger mold in the freezer.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm going to be
nice.
Enjoying a lemonade every show until I don't know when. Who knows? I might even start putting vodka in there.
Oh. If you choose to, I'm going to stick to my decaffeinated caramel coffee, or as some other friends call it, burnt sugar coffee. I'm going to stick to this.
Alrighty.
But I will try the lemonade raspberry ball things later. I just need to buy raspberries and freeze them.
Yeah, so a lot has been happening in the news. I don't know if you've been hearing about it, but looks like the United States decided to kidnap President of Venezuela.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention the act of piracy of like taking oil. He's now kidnapping a president of another country. Oh, and to top it off, did you hear that he's now saying about Greenland?
Yeah, they still haven't forgotten about that. They still haven't
No,
given up
he's
on it.
yeah, he's saying now that how they need to acquire Greenland. Now, mistaken if I'm wrong, but isn't like Greenland a part of like NATO?
Well, yeah, it's owned by a NATO country.
Hmm. Well, yeah, Norway, isn't it?
Denmark, I think.
Denmark, yeah, Denmark is a part of NATO, and yeah, Denmark doesn't. Yeah, Denmark not only owns Iceland, but it also owns Greenland, and that's why they got this. That's why they're named the way they're named to confuse enemies. But yeah, Trump's on about now acquiring Greenland.
Go ahead and talk about that.
Would be, that would be seen as an act of war, I reckon. I can't see how it's not an act of war of him actively kidnapping a president of another country. Now, I'm very sorry, but I find Trump highly contradictive. Like he had a war criminal literally in the United States in the form of Putin. Putin has a arrest warrant out for him. And Trump didn't arrest him when he was in the United States yet. Trump has basically arrested another president who I don't think, I understand, is not like all innocent, but I'm pretty sure he's not guilty of everything that Trump is accusing him of. I think this all comes down to the oil. I think Trump wants control over the oil that he's got no business having control over. I know.
Well, I have a different take.
Okay.
I think it's about mineral control. Minerals that
Okay.
are required to develop weapons, technology
Yeah.
involving cell phones, making chips. All of that is in a government report. I don't have it off the top of my head, but in this report, it describes the inroads that China has been trying to make into Venezuela to get a hold of these minerals, as well as Russia. There are Russian troops
Okay.
stationed, I believe, in Venezuela as we speak. And
Oh,
isn't it
that
interesting?
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because Trump is forever kissing Kim Jong and Putin's asses. So yeah, that makes much more sense about him wanting to control the amount of minerals in there. That's
Yeah, so oil, see, here's the thing. I originally thought it was going to be the oil,
yeah,
but
that's
what
what I thought.
but what's happening is the oil companies, in fact, back in the 90s, I think it was ExxonMobil had made inroads into Venezuela, and they didn't make very much money. In fact, they lost money on this oil venture. So my question is, why aren't all of these oil companies lined up trying to break the doors down? It
You were
turns
right.
out that no, it's not that oil companies are not trying to get in there to get the oil.
No,
It's like it's not going to bring the price down. I mean,
no, I just look now. You were right. It's because there is an incredibly rare earth mineral, the earth minerals that are found in Venezuela.
I'm trying to remember what the mineral was. It's not cobalt. It's something that kind of
Right, I cannot pronounce this, so
Spell it.
Niobium, Niobium.
Niobium. Niobium.
Mm,
What do they?
Niobium, yeah,
What do
and
they use that for?
ta tan ta tantal. I can't even. Tantalum. Not to mention that there's like thorum. Thorum. There's a lot of different rare minerals that are in Venezuela, and I am not sure what they're used for. Let's try this first one. No, it's not going to let me. Okay.
Well, I mean, either way, it is not in Venezuela's best interest.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's. I mean, they keep showing all of these Venezuelans who are happy that Maduro is gone. And let me preface this by saying, yes, Maduro is not a great guy. He's not a good leader, and in fact, there is evidence that he um, tortured Venezuelan citizens, and the way he treated. I mean, he was just, when it comes to human rights abuses, he was guilty. However, that doesn't mean the U.S. being in charge of who gets installed, and I'm using that word deliberately because this is what the U.S. does on a regular basis. It influences elections, or it tries to control them, especially in countries that we want to make inroads in. But anyway, there's a lot to talk about that, and we'll probably do an entire show on that.
Okay, I just sent you a PDF on all the rare minerals found in Venezuela with the correct spellings, if you're able to pronounce some of their complicated names, but
Yeah,
that's a
well,
little bit too much for my dyslexic brain to sort of decode at the moment.
yeah. And I'm hearing rumblings that he's going to put Venezuela back on the list of Latin American countries that we're going to allow to immigrate here. It's just crazy clown car posse. It
I
really is.
So
Um,
is he going to make Venezuelans US citizens like they've done to Puerto Rico then?
no, I think you're talking about Cuba. I think you're thinking of Cuba. So
Okay.
we reached a deal with Cubans that fled Fidel Castro's regime that helped fast track them to citizenship. There was a bill. There was a bill in the 1950s that encouraged Cubans that were fleeing Fidel Castro. And to be fair, a lot of these people were criminals. Quite a few of them were right wing fascists that wanted to control the government through despotism, the ruling elite, the business owners. So it's no surprise that the descendants of those Cubans are ultra right wing in this country. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting in the days to come. But yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. All right, let's move on to another story. A man doing target practice. Today's show, we're going to be doing first mass shooting in 30 years. We're going to be talking about Australia's mass shooting that they experienced. I believe it's been 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. But yeah, so we're going to um, let's see. Let's see here. Man doing target practice in backyard, accused of fatally shooting woman blocks away. I mean, see, what would have stopped this shooting? What could have prevented this? In Oklahoma, of course, it's in Oklahoma. Oklahoma man who was doing target practice in his backyard on Christmas is believed to have shot and killed an elderly woman a few blocks from his home. Cody Wayne Adams, 33, has been charged with first-degree manslaughter in connection with the deadly shooting. The victim was on a covered front porch with family members at a residence in Comanche when she was shot Thursday afternoon. According to the probable cause affidavit, she was holding a baby in her left arm while seated on a love seat when she was struck in her right upper arm, according to the affidavit. The bullet then entered her chest cavity. So it went through her right arm into her chest. What the fuck kind of gun was this? First responders were dispatched. Family members told responding deputy they heard someone shooting 5 or 7 rounds over several minutes north of the residence. The victim commented that someone got a new gun for Christmas and then shortly after said ouch and then collapsed. Wow. What a way to spend Christmas. And this fucking asshole. Yeah, I mean, he fits the description. Fucking moron with a gun. Let me see if I can quickly take a picture of this.
How far away was his neighbour's house? Was it like 1,000 yards?
That I don't know. It was a block away. Oops.
A block. So it probably an AK then.
Let's see here.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he
Either a
fits
pistol or an
the
AK.
definitely fits the description.
Did they say what gun it was?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Oh, okay.
So here's his mugshot. Definitely this kind of stable individual you want with a firearm on Christmas. Law enforcement investigating the shooting canvassed several residences to the north of the deadly shooting and found all but one. Adams had suitable shooting backstops or firing locations. He had received a Glock 45 for Christmas, and the neighbors heard him shooting about 20 rounds on Thursday afternoon. Adams allegedly told deputies who responded to his home that he had been shooting a Glock 45 that he recently bought for himself for Christmas at a Red Bull. He was shooting at a Red Bull can. A Glock 45. This guy, you'd think he'd be old enough. When a deputy said he suspected the shooting may have caused the victim's death, Adams became visibly upset and began to cry. He was shooting towards the ground in his backyard. There was nothing behind his property to stop any bullets from traveling beyond his property and hurting someone. The Adams home is located approximately 0.3 miles away. So, God damn it, just about I don't even know. Not just a few houses down, then I guess.
Yeah. He should have
That's a
had
long
proper
way.
backstops in. No, yeah. That bullet from a Glock 45 can actually travel a longer distance from that. I think it's like about 100 yards. I might be wrong. People can correct me in the comments.
45
But yeah.
caliber ammunition.
Yeah, I think on a good day from a Glock 45, I think that bullet can travel up to like 100 yards. Why didn't he have proper backstops and stuff in place? This is why it's important. If you've got a gun, you go to a licensed shooting range and you are not shooting out your backyard, because you can't guarantee that the people or animals or anyone else around the vicinity of where you were shooting are safe unless you're at a proper licensed gun range.
This is why we have gun laws, to prevent morons like this from getting guns. Speaking of moron, I may have already mentioned this in another show that we did. Dan Bongino is leaving the FBI. Good time to get out, buddy. Good time to be out. No time like the present. This mother.
Well, I have a bit of funny news for you.
Go ahead.
And everybody else. So Trump tweeted on his Troll Central about 11 hours ago. Trump, and he literally shared this because he's so proud of it. Trump cuts off 10 billion in funding to 5 blue states for childcare, social services over fraud fears. The Trump administration is cutting off more than 10 billion in social services and childcare funding meant for a handful of Democrat-led states, officials told the Post on Monday. I think this is going back to where he's been targeting Gavin Newsom, I think, stating that they found so-called fraud of a school where there's actually no children that attend, which I think that's false claims on the Trump administration. So how long are people actually going to let Trump get away with this blatant corruption and theft of allocated funds? How long are people going to let this go on before they finally throw his arse in jail where it belongs?
Well, I mean, we had plenty of opportunities to do this. We had the midterms. We had the last year's election, and white voters failed time and time again.
Oh.
We could have held him. We could have held him accountable. That it was possible. We could have done it, and we just. White America said, "Nah."
Trump is going to be popular with his anti-vax crowds. He also tweeted that he's setting up a schedule to get kids vaccinated. I don't think that's going to sit popular with his anti-vax plan. What do you reckon?
Yeah, measles is already spreading in North Carolina.
Yeah. If only we had preventive, not only preventive injections, but also cures for these. Maybe we should go ask Captain Brainworm about it. Maybe he'd be able to apply some answers that he can't answer, if that makes any sense, because they don't make sense.
Yeah. So while the Trump administration is going hard against immigrants from Somalia and Latin America and everything, now, according to Newsweek, Trump wants more Nordic immigrants. Norwegian man reply goes viral. So, a Norwegian man has gone viral for his response to calls for Nordic people to immigrate to the United States. Why would they come here? To this hellhole. Vocalist Chris Lund is from Norway. Recently heard President Donald Trump's pleas for more Scandinavian immigrants to move to the States. On December 9th, Trump spoke at a rally in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, where he complained about immigration and asked why people from Nordic countries weren't coming to the United States. Well, yeah, because it's a shithole country. We don't even get proper health care, and then you allow these gun nuts to run around. Like so, you got this moron shooting in his backyard on Christmas Day, shoots one of his neighbors. Why, oh why would they want to come here?
Considering that Trump has openly said, his followers have openly said that they don't want any immigrants in America. And they're openly not only deporting immigrants that are there legally, but they're also deporting American citizens. Why the fuck would any person with a rational mind either travel just to visit or even move to the United States with the current state of affairs that's happening at the moment? What sane person would want to put themselves being detained by ICE only to be deported back? That seems like not only a waste of money.
Yeah. So Chris
why
Lund
physically put yourself through that?
Yeah, so Donald Trump says, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. So Lund said, he's like, look, the recurring irony of being told America is the land of opportunity by someone who doesn't seem to realize that. For a Norwegian, moving there is a massive downgrade. I saw the comments Trump made about wanting more Norwegians, and I just did the math. When you compare 5 weeks of vacation and a year of maternity leave to the American system, the offer is a joke. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just looking at the benefits package. The benefits package is terrible. You offer 2 weeks of vacation if we are lucky. We get 5. Your maternity leave is good luck while we get a year. Your health care plan is GoFundMe, while ours is free. And your safety plan is just thoughts and prayers. Talking about gun safety. And he's not kidding about the GoFundMe. You're not going to believe this. Mickey O'Rourke.
And then
Mickey Rourke, a Hollywood actor, is facing eviction in Los Angeles. This guy has set up a GoFundMe to avoid getting evicted. In December, the Oscar-nominated actor was served a notice to pay roughly $60,000 in back rent or vacate his Los Angeles home. The GoFundMe, titled "Help Mickey Rourke Stay in His Home," has raised $5,000 so far, and the goal is $100,000. What's the date of this article? This was yesterday. Mickey Rourke entered American cinema with a force of nature, raw, fearless, and utterly original. In the late 70s and 80s, he wasn't just a movie star, he was a symbol of something rare. Danger paired with vulnerability, toughness paired with heart. From Diner to Rumblefish to 9.5 Weeks, Mickey gave audiences performances that felt lived in, not performed, and left a permanent mark on American film culture. What did he do with all this money? The blurb goes on to say that after Rourke stepped away from acting for boxing, he was burdened with lasting physical and emotional scars and abandoned by the industry that once celebrated him. Mickey Rourke was in Sylvester Stallone's, one of the Sylvester Stallone's The Incredible, what do they call that? The Expendables. I saw the first one. I saw the first one. It was a joke. It wasn't even. I'm like, who's taking this seriously?
I'm sorry, but and I know this is going to sound harsh, Mickey York is a good actor, yes, but if he can no longer afford to rent a place for $74,200 a month, he needs to downgrade drastically to something that he is able to comfortably afford. And a lot of people,
Lord,
a
he
lot of
looks
us,
terrible.
he does. A lot of us normal people have had to like downgrade and like, pull our belts in because we can't afford normal things,
Yeah,
Some people working.
his most recent films he was in, Man on Fire, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, The Wrestler, and he was also in an independent thriller, but it looks well, I guess it hasn't gone through yet. That is crazy work. That is crazy work.
How
How in the world?
it is. How has he lost 5 million in a year? What has he spent 5 million on in a year to know?
Well, I tell you what. Now here's another bizarre turn. This is from Hollywood Reporter, so I'm not sure. The saga of Mickey Rourke's latest round of financial woes has taken another bizarre turn. So apparently, the actor has released a video denouncing a GoFundMe set up in his name by his longtime manager, allegedly with his permission. The fundraiser, launched early Sunday morning, is nearing its $100,000 goal. Money meant to help Rourke remain in his home. Seated with his beloved rescue dog Lucky on his lap, a distraught Rourke in a Fuchsia whatever, addresses his nearly 500,000 Instagram followers. He says, something's come up that I'm really frustrated, confused, and I don't understand. Rourke, who is 73, somebody set up some kind of a foundation or fund for me to donate money, a charity. And that's not me. If I needed money, I wouldn't ask for no charity. I'd rather stick a gun up my ass and pull the trigger. Whoever did this, I don't know why they did it. I wouldn't know what a GoFundMe is in a million years. The account was created by Laia Joelle Jones, assistant to Kimberly Hines, Rourke's manager for a decade. Hines and Jones both told The Hollywood Reporter that the GoFundMe was created with Mickey's permission. Okay. Now, Rourke is denying any knowledge of who created the fundraiser, insists he would never turn to fans for financial help. An act of desperation he calls humiliating. So he is admitting that he is terrible at maintaining finances throughout his career, with online estimates putting his net worth at its peak at $5 million. I did a terrible job managing my career. I wasn't very diplomatic. I had to go to 20 years of therapy to get over that. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that wild man I was 20 years ago. Rourke goes on to pledge that he will reach out to his longtime lawyer and return any money donated to the GoFundMe by fans. I would never ask strangers or fans for a nickel. It's not my style. You ask anyone who knows me, it's humiliating and fucking embarrassing. I want you to get your money back. All things will pass. There's only one person I can think of that would do such a thing. I hope it's not the person I'm thinking about. Okay.
Donald Trump.
No.
I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke. He said he was only thinking of one person that would do that, and I was just like, Donald Trump.
Oh, no. The only person who would set up a fund in his name. That's what he's talking about.
Probably
But-
his manager.
But yeah,
It's
it
so
gets
wrong.
weirder
if that was
and
done,
weirder.
it is. If that was truly done without his knowledge, then he needs to, like, you know, press charges, because that's not cool setting things up in other people's names. That's fraudulent behavior. That's fraud, that is, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, who knows now?
I hope
And
he
at this
gets it
person, and
sorted
at this
out.
point, I don't know if he can even remember if he even gave permission for that to begin with. Whatever. This story just gets more and more bizarre. How bizarre. But our next story, Dan Bongino says he's leaving the FBI this month. Yay!
Ooh.
He announced on December 17th that he's leaving after less than a year as the number 2 official at the nation's premier law enforcement agency, and after a reported conflict with Attorney General Bondi over the release of the Jeffrey Epstein investigative files. So, yeah, he's realizing, oh shit, this is a lot harder than I thought it was. So the former podcaster has been telling people he is leaving his job, and he's clearing out his office if it's not already cleared out. I tell you what,
Yeah, Trump's.
this is what happens when
It is.
we have the worst of the worst doing the job.
Yep. Trump said he's very serious about taking Greenland despite warnings from NATO.
Yeah, he's a former Secret Service agent, New York police officer, and the host of the podcast, The Dan Bongino Show, which brought him an audience of millions of followers and supporters. So Bongino's role in the Secret Service Presidential Protective Division and as a police officer had helped propel him to a prominent position as a Fox News host and prominent voice in conservative media. And after listening to him talk and speak, I'm like, this fucking guy. I mean, he just complete asinine. You know, it's just unreal how this guy was given any role in our government. I mean, my goodness. It's like we didn't know what we had till it was gone, you know? And for people who want people like Bongino and Kash Patel to be running our security in this country, I'm convinced they just want to watch the world burn. Can't convince me otherwise. So good riddance. They'll put somebody else in his place, even worse than he is. So never fear. Never fear.
Oh, 10 have been found guilty for cyberbullying. France's First Lady Brigitte Macron.
Mhm. 10?
Yes.
Where?
Yes.
Which country?
President Emmanuel Macron's wife Brigitte has faced intense harassment on social media with malice claims she was born a man. Paris court has found 10 people guilty of being involved in cyber harassment. On Monday, the defendants, including 8 men and 2 women, aged between 41 and 65, were found guilty of making malicious comments about Brigitte gender and sexuality and equating her different ages with her husband to be a paedophile. Let's see. 8 people were suspended, sentences of 4 to 8 months in prison. The 9th man was sentenced to 6 months in jail after he was absent from the hearing, and the final person was ordered to follow a course against hate speech online. For those on trial, prosecutors sought the heavier sentence against Arlene Paulson Alan, 41, also known on social media as Zoe Zagan.
Where did the trial take place?
It took place in France.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah. Another of the prominent defenders, gallery owner Bertrand Scholar, 56, said the trial was targeting his freedom to think, faced with the media deep state. I'm sorry, but your freedom to think is not actively going online and sticking in bullying comments to other people that do affect their mental well-being. That is not your freedom to think.
I mean,
that is not your freedom of speech.
You have freedom to think. The problem is he didn't.
No, exactly.
I mean,
he decided to put in a negative comment that has a psychological effect on someone's mental well-being, and that is not okay to do.
And let's be clear, these people were not just everyday people that just made a passing comment. These people maliciously spread disinformation online.
On terrorizing her.
Yeah.
In an intense harassment every day. Every day they were harassing her.
Yeah. So, and I hear they're going to be making their way to the U.S. I wonder, because I think they served Candace Owens. I think they're going to be taking Candace Owens, who a United States podcaster, to court.
Yeah, it says. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're doing a high-profile defamation lawsuit. The Macrons are also pursuing a high-profile defamation lawsuit in the United States against the right-wing influencer Candace Owens, who has allegedly that Bridget was born male. Several of those on trial in Paris shared posts from right-wing influencers.
When is that happening?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say when that. It just says that they are pursuing a lawsuit. So I'm assuming, means that they've already tried 8 people. I'm assuming that they're just getting the permits and proper papers in order, so they're able to, get this to go through a US court, because there is proper, protocols put in place for things to be done. They're either going to see about getting Candace Owens tried in the US, or they're going to try and get her expedited to be brought to Paris to be prosecuted. I don't know if the US would extradite Candace Owens, though, to be prosecuted for the crimes. I think Trump would hide her up his ass if he was able to. Trump likes all the corrupt people.
All right. So, good news. Looks like the FDA approves Wegovy weight loss pill from Novo Nordisk. U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved a pill version of Novo Nordisk's weight loss drug Wegovy, the first daily oral medication for obesity treatment. Well, I could use a few of those. Once daily
I
tablet,
was just about to say. For me, not for you. For me.
called the Wegovy pill, is the first and only oral GLP-1 medicine or glucagon, like peptide 1 receptor agonists, according to Novo Nordisk. The GLP-1 drugs were first used to treat diabetes, but have since been approved to treat obesity, which has dramatically expanded the patient pool. Wegovy pill is the next chapter in our decades-long GLP experience, support by the most affordable self-pay price to date in a GLP-1 for obesity. Dave Moore, Executive Vice President, U.S. Operations of Novo Nordisk, said in a statement, "We are prepared for a full U.S. launch in early January 2026, with manufacturing well underway in our North Carolina facilities." The pill is 25 milligrams of semaglutide, semaglutide, the same active ingredient in injectable Wegovy and Ozempic. Novo Nordisk already sells an oral semaglutide for type 2 diabetes, the Rybelsus. The Wegovy pill was approved for chronic weight management in adults with obesity and overweight and at least one related health condition. The GLP-1 medication mimics the natural hormone and reduces people's appetite, helping them lose weight. The approval of the pill gives Novo Nordisk a boost in the race to market an oral medication for obesity treatment. Danish drug maker's rival Eli Lilly has oral medication still under review and could be approved as soon as late March.
That is good. Sign me up.
Now, I don't know. Let's see.
And I don't think you need to lose any weight. But that is completely up to you. But I need to be signed up for this.
It doesn't say how much it would run.
Are they safe?
Well, I mean, they've been approved, so I would
Oh
say
my god. I have put so much weight on my ass this Christmas.
hardy. Yeah, so
I would show the viewers, but I think I might get us in trouble with YouTube if I done that. But yes, if those pills are safe, then I would definitely sign up to like lose a couple of stone.
yeah, so it'd be interested to know what the price of this would be.
Yes, definitely. That would be an interesting thing to find out what price that would be.
Anyway, to the main event, our next story, the mass shooting Bondi Beach attack. This is taken from CNN. Most mass shooters act alone. The Bondi Massacre is a rare father and son atrocity. Authorities are investigating the motives behind last week's deadly Bondi Beach attacks. Leading criminologists note an unusual characteristic differentiating this mass shooting from others. The suspected gunmen were family members. They're accused of killing 15 people at the iconic Sydney shoreline, a crime that could be the first father and son combination of perpetrators ever for such an attack, according to Dr. James Densley, a criminology professor. Mass killings are typical of the work of lone actors. Less than 2% of mass shootings studied involve two or more perpetrators. When relatives commit mass violence together, the risk factors look different. Relatives who commit crimes together tend to be less performative, with trust and proximity replacing online networks that are often used by lone actors. These attacks grow out of shared worldview that's cultivated over time rather than a single individual seeking notoriety or recognition. Family members already share time, space, and routines, private conversations. They can test and rehearse ideas without social frictions. Cases demonstrate that the 2022 Wegovy shootings in Australia, where two brothers and a spouse acted together to kill three people, and 2015 Charlie Hebdo attack in France by two brothers. Two of the bombers that carried out the 2019 Sri Lanka terror attacks were sons of sons of a wealthy trader. Meanwhile, whole families moved to Syria and Iraq at the height of the Islamic State self-declared caliphate. And the 2015 San Bernardino terror attacks were carried out by a married couple. So they took part in firearms training together back in October, South Wales, Australia. At Bondi Beach, police say Sajid and Navid targeted a Jewish celebration motivated by Islamic State ideology. The two traveled to the Philippines last month, visiting a region that had endured a painful history of Islamist extremism, and homemade Islamic State flags were found in their car after the attack. The pair are alleged to have recorded videos in which they shared views suggesting they adhered to religiously motivated violent extremist ideology, and they also practiced shooting ahead of their attack in a rural part of Australia.
Yes, that is absolutely devastating. Did you know that 6 Ukrainians died with other innocent peoples at Hanukkah on Bondi Beach? I think that's what they were celebrating when at Hanukkah. Is it pronounced Hanukkah? Hanukkah?
Following the attack, police seized 6 guns owned by the two who had a gun license. Authorities confirmed he met the eligibility criteria for a firearms license and a recreational hunting license. This exposes a blind spot in Australia's otherwise strong gun laws because risk is relational, not just individual. Wow. And the article goes on, but yeah, so I watched what was interesting about this shooting was a Muslim man from Syria, I believe, took these people out or disarmed one of them and stopped him from shooting. You know, because what they wanted to do, what's amazing, these stupid gun nuts over here in this country tried saying, oh, well, see, this is what happens when you disarm the populace, when you don't allow the population to just have unrestricted firearm access, until it's pointed out that Australia went without a mass shooting for over 30 years.
They transferred that murderer to a supermax prison.
Yeah, I'd like to get some more information on those two.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently,
he's 24. That kid. He's 24. Yeah, he's now he's in Goulburn Supermax prison. He was transferred there Monday. and he'll be facing trial for 59 offences.
So these two got weapons training in the Philippines. Yeah, I'd like to know why they picked that of all places. So the way they evaded detection was they weren't part of a cell of terrorists. So they were able to keep a lower profile. So the son was investigated for 6 months by the Australian Security Intelligence Organization because of his connection with two people who subsequently went to jail. But the investigation concluded there was no evidence that he had been radicalized. The father, who is a licensed gun owner, was interviewed as part of the 2019 investigation, but also showed no indication of any radicalization. So they were able to evade detection that way by not posting anything. At least they were smart enough to do that. Well, okay, they put. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So the fact of the matter is, they
They did post
they
one
were
video.
able to evade detection by not posting until they were ready to carry out their crimes.
Yeah, and then
By that time,
they
it's
posted-
too late.
It is.
By the time the authorities can act, they could have
Yeah.
committed their atrocities twice over.
Oh my God. That is. I can't even imagine the devastation of like getting shot at, let alone having the Quran forcibly recited at you while you're getting shot at. That's horrifying.
Yeah, it is. So Naveed was born in Australia, while his father immigrated back in '98. So Sajid was originally from, let's see, am I understanding that?
Syria?
He's originally from the southern Indian city of Hyderabad.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, and I think it wasn't Hanukkah they were celebrating. I think it was Chanukah. I know, someone please.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I watched the 14-minute video.
Yeah.
Those freaks shooting from the bridge.
I haven't watched the 14-minute video. I watched some snippets while it was live, and that was heartbreaking enough.
Yeah. But luckily, they have a functioning government that's going to allow changes to their gun laws to prevent. This is something the U.S. doesn't have. So, of course, I mean, of course, going back to the original article that we read, people from Nordic countries don't want to be here because they're sick and tired of all the gun violence. People look at Australia and go, see, they had one. It's like, yeah, but we've had six shootings since they've had their shooting. I mean, how many? We've had 3 just this year alone. It's so commonplace. It's like it barely makes the news anymore. But the Bondi Beach shooting was incredibly jarring. You know, because it just doesn't happen over there. So watch the space, I guess. And with that being said, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Skeptically Speaking show. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider supporting the show. Consider supporting us. You can do that through Cash App, Venmo, Patreon. Links will be down in the description. And please don't forget to follow us on all the other socials: TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and Substack. We'd love to have you.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We love reading your comments, and we honestly do appreciate your support.
And with that, we will say good night.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to hide the scars to fade away the shake-up. You wanted to. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. I commend my spirit, Father, into your hands. Why have you forsaken me?